Hey, Mystery Speed Shop here. Good morning. I'm doing valve springs on this old 302. It's got, in the Falcon, 63 Falcon. It's got AFR 165 heads on it, and they came with a hydraulic flat tappet spring, so it's getting a little bit of valve float. What I did was I ordered an upgraded dual spring from Flowtech Industries that is designed for a roller. This has got a TFS 1 cam in it, pretty mild cam. And then the springs that I pulled out are a much larger outer diameter. It's actually got a damper in there too, which might have helped a little bit, but I don't really know. So yeah, outer diameter, the way to tell the outer diameter is 1.4 something. And then all of the upgraded roller springs are much smaller, more like a 1.27, 1.29, somewhere around there. So what I've done for the spring tool is I ordered this cheap little spring tool from Amazon for an LS motor. And it came with a metric stud. So I had to go up to the hardware store and get an exhaust stud that was a 5/16 coarse thread on the short end and a 5/16 fine thread on the long end. It's about 2.5 inches long, which is perfect length, and you can see it compresses it down pretty good. Now down there at the base of it, you can see that little black round thing. That's just a piece of Delrin because I needed to stand it up. It needed a pedestal, basically. The Ford pedestals for the rockers, you can kind of see right there, are metal and curved, and so you can't really use those. So that's the difference between an LS and a Ford. It works pretty good. I've actually got the keepers in there, and I'm ready to just undo that nut. I'm using a lot of grease on that stud, and I actually took a Dremel and chamfered the top end of the slot in the tool because it was kind of hanging up on those threads and then pulling threads off, and galled up the first stud. So I went and bought a couple more studs, took a Dremel to it to just chamfer it on the top, so whenever you're undoing this, it can just kind of ride up. And it's going pretty good. I've got this bank done, although I think I packed one of the valve seals with too much grease. So I'm going to, on cylinder, what is that, 5, I'm going to pull the spring back off and inspect it, make sure that the seals are fully seated. But other than that, all of these springs are done. All of these springs are done. I've just got this one and then those two. And then I'm doing the air trick. This hose came with an old compression tester that I bought from Sears, back in the 90s. And on the end, the hose threads into another adapter. You unthread that adapter, and then you unthread the Schrader valve, so that way it pushes air in, and it's working pretty good so far. So should be done here shortly. Just wanted to share that little trick with you about the cheap spring compressor for a GM engine on a Ford AFR head.